Good morning, everyone. It's a joy to be here with you, and thank you, Dr. Coto, for attending the Global Access Conference. We really appreciate having you here.
Brian, thank you, and thank you for this life-changing experience in these couple of days. I'm so happy to be with you.
I'm glad to see you're wearing your pin.
I get it this morning.
Well, the rule is you can't come on this stage without it now, so we need to see everybody coming on stage with their pen. You know what the pin is for, of course, so go out there and get one. Dr. Coto, give our folks some idea of what your role is in El Salvador.
6 years ago, the president of El Salvador called me and asked me if I would join the cabinet for the Institute of Rehabilitation of El Salvador. At that moment, I was just finishing a study about the end-time society viewed by the prophets. And I come to realize that in that society, there will be no poverty, no injustice, and no disability. So in that time, I thought that this was a divine plan to get involved in this area of the government.
Wonderful. And so since that time, one of the things you say in your testimony is you've made a difference in your life between religion and God. Describe that difference.
Well, as many of the Latin American countries, we are a very religious society. When I was born, maybe 90 or 95% of all the population attend a church, but was committed with a relationship with the church, not with God. So when I was at the university, I was thinking that I need to know God and start trying to find, and He was so close, and that for me was the starting point of a relationship with God. And that is very different. You have to keep your religious background, your tradition, and start to know that God is so close and He wants to be a friend of you.
In El Salvador, people with disabilities are viewed in different ways. There are cultural ways and religious ways. Tell us about some of those ways that people with disabilities are affected by those views.
Well, there's very impressive that at the church of El Salvador, just 2% of the people that go to church are people with disability. But we are from 50 to 20% of the people with disability. That means that the family hide the people with disability. They think that they receive a curse or there is no appropriate to take the boys or girls, family with disability, get out from the house. So in that situation, I think that my work in ISRI, that is this Rehabilitation Institute, first have to change the view. The disability is not a disease. Of course, it's not a curse. And the disability person are not patients. They're human beings with needs like you and me.
Amen. So in the last 5 years, there's been some progress. Tell us about what's going on and how that progress is happening.
Well, we have to change first this mentality of medical point of view of the disabled and disability in the Institute. But soon, we came to realize that the problem is not just this institute, this Rehabilitation Institute, but also the education system. So we talked with the Minister of Education, and we start working for the people with autism in El Salvador, setting together with Johnny and friends to Congress. At the beginning, just with the teachers, and the second year, we involve also the family and also the doctors and some of the autism people that attend this second seminary. And then we have contact with the Minister of Public Work, Public Construction. And we start a project in the center of the city to make it accessible to the people, because many people think that there is no place for people with disability in the city. So it's starting to change. We have a lot of things to do, but then the president moved me to another place. Now I'm not in the rehabilitation center, but I'm working now as a director of the regulatory authority of medicine and medical device in El Salvador. It's like an FDA,
Yeah.
but very small.
It's a cabinet level position. And so it's interesting. It said the president moves him. For thousands of years, God has put his people in positions of authority in government. You go back to Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, Daniel, put in the house of the king, and the king tells them, go here, go there, do this, do that. And they serve the Lord with their whole heart in that position. It's a joy to see someone like yourself in that position. What do you want to do with that influence? Why did God give you that influence?
I think God gives you influence to anyone. The problem is that normally we focus in ourselves. And if we start looking who is close to you and in your work area, doesn't matter if you have a small work or a big work, but you always have opportunity to serve the people. And as I said, exclusion is one of the main characteristics of not also the church, but of course the society. So I think we have to use all the opportunity that you have to transform that reality and give all the people, not just the people with disability, but also the people with disability, this opportunity to work and to be included in the society.
This is a room full of people who have influence. All of you have influence somewhere. What would you want to say to somebody here that is maybe doubting their influence? How would you want to exhort them?
I remember the story of Esther. I don't know if that's the English pronunciation, but that queen was very secure in the palace, and all the brother was just for die. And God sent a message and says, you don't know if this is the reason why you are here. So I think we have to stop thinking in ourselves and start thinking that God have a purpose in our lives.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Coto. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.